Winston the woodpecker was a curious and adventurous bird, living in a lush forest filled with tall trees and winding streams. He loved to explore, flitting from branch to branch and drumming on the trunks with his strong beak. One day, while drumming on a particularly large oak tree, Winston discovered a hidden hollow inside. He pecked and drummed, and to his surprise, a small door swung open, revealing a cozy little room. Inside, Winston found a friendly squirrel named Squeaky, who was delighted to meet the curious woodpecker. Squeaky showed Winston the secrets of the hollow, including a stash of acorns and a tiny library of forest stories. Winston was enchanted, and he and Squeaky became fast friends, spending hours exploring the forest together and sharing stories of their adventures. And whenever Winston drummed on the oak tree, Squeaky would open the door, and they would sit together, watching the sunset and enjoying each other's company. From that day on, Winston's drumming was not just a way of communicating, but a way of connecting with his friends. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house on a quiet street, there lived a curious cat named Whiskers and a quick-witted mouse named Scamper. For as long as anyone could remember, cats and mice had been sworn enemies, always trying to outsmart and catch each other. But Whiskers and Scamper were different. One day, while exploring the house, they stumbled upon each other in the pantry. Instead of pouncing or scurrying away, they locked eyes and saw something unexpected: friendship. Whiskers, fascinated by Scamper's agility, asked for tips on how to navigate the tight spaces. Scamper, impressed by Whiskers' gentle paws, shared secrets about the best hiding spots. As they spent more time together, their initial curiosity blossomed into a beautiful friendship. They would cuddle up together in the sunbeams streaming through the windows, sharing stories and laughter. Whiskers learned about Scamper's love for cheese and hidden treasures, while Scamper discovered Whiskers' passion for catnip and belly rubs. Their friendship became the talk of the house, with the other animals looking on in wonder. The dog, once skeptical, now wagged his tail in approval. Even the grumpy old parrot couldn't help but smile at the unlikely duo's antics. One fateful day, a fierce storm rolled in, causing the house to creak and groan. Whiskers and Scamper huddled together, seeking comfort in each other's company. As the winds howled and the rain pounded against the windows, they realized that their friendship was the greatest treasure of all. From then on, Whiskers and Scamper were inseparable, proving that even the most unlikely of friends could become the closest of companions. And so, their perfect and whiskerific friendship continued to flourish, a beacon of hope and joy for all to see. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the mountains, there lived a young girl named Sophia. Sophia was known throughout the village for her kind heart and willingness to help others. She spent her days assisting her neighbors with their chores, watching over the elderly, and playing with the children. One day, a severe storm hit the village, causing destruction and chaos. Trees were uprooted, roofs were torn off, and the river overflowed its banks. The villagers were in dire need of help to rebuild and recover. Sophia saw the devastation and knew she had to do something. She gathered a group of friends and together, they formed the Helping Hands team. They worked tirelessly, day and night, to clear debris, repair homes, and provide food and shelter for those in need. As they worked, Sophia's kindness and compassion inspired others to join in. Soon, the entire village was working together, helping each other and lifting each other up. The Helping Hands team grew, and their efforts transformed the village. The villagers began to realize that by working together and supporting one another, they could overcome even the toughest challenges. Sophia's selflessness and generosity had sparked a chain reaction of kindness, and the village was forever changed. Years later, the villagers still remembered Sophia's helping hands and the impact it had on their community. They continued to pay it forward, helping those in need and spreading love and kindness wherever they went. Sophia's story serves as a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can make a big difference and inspire others to do the same. By lending a helping hand, we can create a ripple effect of love and compassion that can transform our communities and the world. Once upon a time, in a dense forest, a curious bear named Boris stumbled upon a strange and eerie clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a small, decrepit cottage, surrounded by twisted trees and overgrown with vines. Boris's curiosity got the better of him, and he approached the cottage, noticing a faint humming noise coming from within. As he peered through the window, he saw Mashe, the mischievous little girl from the village, sitting in a chair, her eyes black as coal, and a faint whispery voice coming from her mouth. Boris was taken aback, sensing something sinister had taken control of the little girl. Suddenly, Masha's eyes snapped towards Boris, and she spoke in a voice that sent shivers down his spine. "Come closer." "Boris, I've been waiting for you." The bear's instincts screamed at him to run, but his curiosity kept him rooted to the spot. Masha began to whisper strange incantations, and the air around Boris grew thick and heavy. The bear felt himself being drawn towards her, as if under a dark spell. He tried to resist, but his paws seemed to move of their own accord, carrying him closer to the cottage. As he entered, Masha's eyes gleamed with an otherworldly light, and she began to whisper secrets in his ear. Boris felt his mind clouding and his thoughts growing hazy. He was trapped in a living nightmare, and Masha was the master of the darkness. From that day on, Boris was never seen again, and the villagers whispered of a cursed clearing where Masha's dark magic held sway, and any who dared to venture near would fall under her sinister spell. Dora's backpack was feeling particularly heavy one day, and she couldn't figure out why. She set out on an adventure to explore the dark and abandoned woods, hoping to find some answers. As she walked deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to twist and turn, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. Dora heard strange noises and whispers, but every time she turned around, no one was there. Suddenly, Map appeared in front of her, but his usual cheerful face was distorted and sinister. "Dora, you shouldn't be here," he hissed. "This is a place of darkness and shadows." Dora tried to run, but her feet felt heavy, as if rooted to the spot. Swiper emerged from the shadows, his eyes glowing red in the dark. "You'll never leave this place, Dora," he sneered. Boots appeared, but his usual playful demeanor was replaced with a creepy grin. "We've been waiting for you, Dora. You'll be our new playmate ... forever." Dora tried to scream, but her voice was muffled by some unseen force. The trees seemed to close in around her, their branches tangling around her like a trap. As the darkness consumed her, Dora realized that her adventure had become a never-ending nightmare. And when she finally woke up, she was back in her own bed. But her backpack was still heavy, and the whispers in her ear never stopped. Once upon a time, in a world where babies are in charge, there was a boss baby named Jack. Jack was a suit-wearing, briefcase-carrying infant who was determined to succeed in the corporate world. From a young age, Jack showed a keen interest in business and leadership, often giving presentations to his stuffed animals and demanding high fives from his parents. As he grew older, Jack's ambition only grew stronger. He began to build a team of loyal employees, including his trusted advisor, a wise old teddy bear named Mr. Whiskers. Together, Jack and his team set out to conquer the world of baby business, taking on challenges and making deals with other babies and even some unsuspecting adults. Despite his tough exterior, Jack had a soft spot for his family and would do anything to protect and provide for them. And as he climbed the corporate ladder, he never forgot where he came from, always staying true to his baby roots. In the end, Jack became the most successful boss baby of all time, ruling the world of baby business with an iron fist and a charming smile. And he lived happily ever after, surrounded by his loving family and loyal employees.